Here we go.
Hi, everybody! It's Fursuit Friday, but it's also our 1-year anniversary of doing YouTube videos together.
Oh, what do I get? What's
exactly a year ago, I was still living with Lionel and Max. Yeah, that's it. And Max, Azurean, and I did a review on The Running Man.
Oh.
And the week before, we had reviewed The Sixth Day and talked about the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that I had seen, and I listed how I felt about all of them. But I also mentioned that there was still a bunch that I had not seen, and there had been tentative plans to watch more of them, but they fell through. And I figured for 1-year anniversary, we'll watch one of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies we have, and I haven't seen, and it was True Lies. I thought watching the movie was very interesting. It really felt like I had seen some of it, but at the same time, I was like, okay, I don't remember this part. I don't remember this part, so I don't know if I've technically seen it and just forgotten most of it, or if it's just pop culture has like taken so much from this movie, and so much of this movie is based in other pieces of pop culture that it just felt familiar. I don't know. But it was a very good movie. I was very entertained. It was it had a lot of great action. It had a lot of good comedy. It was very funny. I did not expect it to be a funny movie going in. But it came out in 1994, and it was the third highest grossing movie of the year, behind The Lion King and Forrest Gump.
What are those movies
which apparently it was up for a Best Visual Effects Oscar and lost, I think, to Forrest Gump. Ah. And it was kind of funny that it was up against those two movies. But in any case, directed by James Cameron, who famously directed him in the Terminator movies.
That's the guy from the Avatars.
So far, there's only been one, but there will be a sequel or two coming out at some point, supposedly. But we'll see.
Keep announcing more.
I know, right?
You know what I do like about the Na'vi in those movies?
They're blue. How did I know? But anyhow, this bird has seen this movie more times, way more times than I have.
I've seen it this many times.
I can't even count that many. But I had never seen this movie before, and it was fairly long. Unfortunately, it was interrupted by a blackout, which was very unfortunate. But we did manage to get through it, and I was glad we did. It was actually, like I said, it was a very entertaining movie. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you go see it if you are a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't think it's still in movie theaters.
No,
it's not. You might have to rent it from a video rental store.
There's a lot of things that aren't in movie theaters anymore, including brand new movies like Turning Red.
Yeah, it's disappointing. But
if you didn't watch the last week's video, go watch Turning Red. Definitely one of my favorites, considering Red Pandas. Yeah. But anyhow, we're going to talk about True Lies.
Or are we? Maybe that's one of the lies.
Yeah, we are. So the movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, as well as Jamie Lee Curtis as his wife. And features the likes of Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton, and Tia Carrera, and Eliza Dushku, which might have been her first role. I didn't check. But she plays his daughter. And she doesn't have a whole lot of big scenes in the movie. And I wasn't sure if it was her at first. But I eventually got a good look at her at one of the dinner table scenes, and I was like, nope, that's totally her. Yep. She was listed in the opening credits, so maybe she already had been in something enough to be given, opening credits listing, but I mostly know her for being the star of the show True Calling. I really love that show. I wish it hadn't gotten canceled prematurely.
Never heard of it.
It's about a morgue worker who gets asked for help by the dead, and she relives the previous day.
Okay, I remember some of it, but I never watched it.
Yeah, that was a really fun show, and I can't think of his name. The guy from 90210.
Luke Perry.
Yes, Luke Perry shows up in the latter half of the series as her antithesis.
Oh, he plays a woman? Her
No.
aunt?
So
Hi, that's my aunt.
her character was trying to save people who died. He was trying to make sure people stayed dead. He was working for the other side. He was an agent of
chaos.
I'm not exactly sure. Like I don't know if they ever actually fully got to where they were going with it, because like I said, the show seemed to be canceled prematurely.
True Lies.
But anyhow, yeah, True Lies. Again, if you haven't seen it, just take our word. This is our saying. Go see the movie. We recommend it. But right now we're gonna talk spoilers, because this is an old movie. This is from 1994.
I mean, if you don't want spoilers, what are you gonna do? The movie's so old. It's 30 years old. It's almost 30 years old.
So yeah, full spoilers from here on out. If you don't want to hear spoilers, click out now.
Arnold Schwarzenegger dies at the end.
No, he doesn't. Stop that. Why would you say that?
Spoilers.
But yeah, so if you're clicking out now, watch us on Twitch. We'll be streaming tonight on Transient Players channel, and I'll be starting up a channel again pretty soon. I reached affiliate recently. I know I keep mentioning this, but I've been working hard to get it fully up and going there.
True Lies.
So yeah, True Lies. So this is about a secret agent who works for the U.S. government.
How did we know about it then? If it's a secret.
And he has a wife who doesn't know. She thinks he's just a computer salesman. And somehow she doesn't suspect the giant Austrian bodybuilder isn't just a computer salesman.
Oh, I see. So a giant Austrian bodybuilder couldn't sell computers? I don't know.
Probably not.
That's not very 90s of you.
Okay. What does that do it in the 90s?
The movie came out in 94, Tsukonko.
Yes, it did.
So there you go.
So you had told me that this movie has not come out on Blu-ray.
Yes, they won't release it on Blu-ray in the States anyway. It has been released, because everything gets released on Blu-ray overseas.
Really?
Well, a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that we haven't gotten that are... But anyway, the main issue is that it deals a lot with terrorism, terrorist acts.
Yes.
And back in 94, we weren't really coming out with Blu-rays. So
you don't say. I don't think it had been invented yet.
Yeah, now that it's common, it's fairly common to come out on Blu-ray. It's the times they feel that not just movie distribution companies, but also producers and the actors in the movie feel that terrorism is a different kind of subject these days because it's more real. And they feel like movies like True Lies kind of, not that they're insulting, but that they diminish the significance of terrorism.
Yeah, they make light of it.
Yeah, because it's used as a plot device in a movie, and part of the fun is that it's, a little over the top, and while it might be possible, it's like, oh, you know what, that's not really going to happen. And now that it has happened in our lifetime, it just seems a little insensitive, and that's the way that they feel. So we will probably never get a Blu-ray release in the States of True Lies.
Okay. It also had been reading that there had been talks about making a sequel, but it kept getting put off. It was like, once I'm done with the Titanic movie I'm working on, that's when we'll start on it. And then, between trying to find a good script writer and all that, it kept getting pushed off, and then 9/11 happened, and it just was like, this is never happening.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger still held on hope that they were going to do it, but Jamie Lee Curtis was like, no.
Yeah,
this is never happening.
Something similar happened with Collateral Damage. It was another movie that, it was supposed to come out earlier in 2011, but
2011.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, 2001. I'm sorry. It was supposed to come out earlier in 2001, but they ended up postponing the movie because the themes in the movie paralleled the events a little too much at times. I mean, it wasn't a one-for-one, but there were a lot of similarities. So basically, everybody was like, let's just be a little more sensitive. They weren't told not to do this. The distributors or nothing, nobody said don't release it. This would be bad. The actors and the movie production company all agreed this would be bad to come out at this point in time. So it is nice to see some unprompted sensitivity.
Indeed. That also reminds me, there was another movie came out around that time. I think it was like called Big Trouble or something like that. It starred Tim Allen, and it heavily dealt with a couple of bungling like, I don't know if they were terrorists or not, but they were trying to sneak a bomb into an airport and on an airplane, and because the movie's a comedy, they did.
And you know what the bomb actually was? Any one of Tim Allen's movies.
Oh, come on!
Except for
Tim
Toy
Allen's
Story.
a good actor.
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Okay, so he had one that wasn't a stinker.
Did you not like Santa Claus?
Okay, fine. He had two non-Pixar movies.
I will give you that the sequels might not be as good as the original.
The sequels were just bad.
Okay, but if you do like the sequels, that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not trying. That's just my opinion of these movies. What are we doing? Who lies?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, security, secret agent, very, very James Bond inspired, kind of character, and he gets mixed up with terrorists. His wife doesn't know. She ends up, ironically, meeting with a guy who's pretending to be him, the secret agent.
Yeah, well, he's pretending to be a spy, and the specific examples he gives.
Yes.
To like, here's my work, ended up being. Her husband Harry.
I thought that was such a weird coincidence that they wrote into the story. Also, it really I felt like that whole character that Bill Paxton played was just the reason why the movie is way too long.
Aliens.
The movie is 141 minutes long.
He was in the Aliens movie.
If they cut his character out, I think the movie would still survive. The only reason that he's even there is to just have the wife, be doing something that makes her end up getting involved in the plot of the case against the terrorists.
Pretending to be a spy. Well, what if she ended up in a real situation? And then she died.
I mean, if anything, they could have just had the bad guys find out his real name, kidnap his wife. And there you go. She's involved. They didn't have to do this whole thing with that, but they wanted to showcase Jamie Lee Curtis being erotic.
Yes, she was wonderful in that scene. She had
I agree. Body. That kind of shocked me. I don't think I ever really thought about her as being,
really
especially sexy.
I don't think a lot of people did, and I think that's why a lot of people latched on to that scene.
I mean,
because Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't ugly. It's just she wasn't one of those actors that based her career around her physical appearance.
Her first movie was Halloween, right?
I believe. I'm not really sure.
Her first breakout role. Let's call it breakout role.
I would definitely say that.
So
she had been in other movies.
In Halloween, she was definitely, just a plain Jane kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't remember how much was in between that and Alien. But in Alien, she played a fairly tomboy kind of character. She was... What?
She was an alien? I didn't remember her in Alien. What? Jamie Lee Curtis an alien? Who was she an alien?
Wait, am I mixing... Oh my god, am I mixing her up?
Am I mixing her up?
I'm singing... Oh my goodness! Dang it.
Look, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, she wasn't known for her beauty, even if she was or is still beautiful. But this movie, a lot of people latched on to the
it's because James Cameron directed Aliens, and I was convinced that they had done more movies together.
As I was trying to say earlier, Bill Paxton, He was in the
Game over, man! Game over!
He was, yeah, and you know what? He was in the Alien movie, and the alien was in him.
Was he?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen him.
It's an alien, come on!
I watched him on a VHS tape, borrowed from my friend, alone in my room when it was super cold, and it was confused, all kinds of crazy stuff going on at home.
Azurean to keep him warm.
My mom was having a little bit of an episode. She'd open up all the windows in the middle of winter. It was freezing in the house.
So anyhow,
and I was watching all the Alien movies back to back as a way to, like, pass the time.
True lies!
Yeah.
True lies!
One keeps getting us sidetracked. All right, I admit, I sidetracked too. But yeah, what else is there to say about this movie?
It's pretty straightforward. Harry's a spy. His wife thinks she's hanging out with a spy.
Wait, Harriet the spy?
And then she ends up getting set up in a fake spy situation after the first one with her husband. And then that leads into a real situation where all the beans are spilled.
Indeed.
And Arnold's like, oh no, what are we going to have for dinner? The beans have been spilled. And they both get captured by terrorists.
Indeed.
And Arnold has to use his Arnold Schwarzenegger powers to basically kill everybody. And guess what? You would never guess this, but this wasn't as much of a trope then as it is now, maybe. But she's also really good at this. She's a natural for this one. Even if it's accidentally.
She drops that.
No, you can't hit the keyboard.
I'm sorry.
But even if it's accidentally, she ends up being really good at the work.
Kinda.
So, yeah. Come on, she did.
The fight in the limo was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll give her
that was her second fighting thing to do, was to fight up Tia Carrera.
Spoilers, but I mean we're already saying
it's a 30-year-old movie almost. If you didn't want spoilers, why would you? You had your chance. But anyway, yeah. So they go through. They fight the criminals, and it keeps every time they come to what could be the natural conclusion of the movie. There's another thing. So it's like, hey, we blew up the bombs. But guess what? We gotta go save the girl now because the daughter gets kidnapped, and the daughter escapes because she's not incompetent either.
Yeah. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot that she had to do, but like that was her main scene is that she gets kidnapped.
No lines in the movie. All they did was establish she was a delinquent youth. That was basically.
And they only did that like in the most minute way.
Yeah, she steals some money.
She takes some money from his jacket.
And she has a boyfriend who has a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's
a lot of Kawasaki Ninja motorcycles. I love it. I want one so bad.
Well, we'll talk about it.
But anyway,
they are pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I'm getting one. When you get one, it's gonna be blue. Okay. But so and then of course it leads up to the scene that everybody has seen. And it's like the
You're fired.
Thing. Yes, and then he fires the terrorist off a missile that he got snagged on, and blows up his other terrorist friend.
Yes.
And it's like that gets placed. It's like that's the best scene. It's like the last scene. It's the final blow to the final boss. And it's like, why are you putting that in the trailers?
But the final scene, though, is actually kind of lovely.
Yes, it circles all the way back around to where they started the movie.
So throughout the beginning of the movie, his relationship with his wife is very strained. They are, like, definitely not, as in love as they were when they first got married, if they ever were. It's not exactly made clear, but we're presuming they were. But, the fact that their romantic relationship has been dead in the water is what leads her to end up being with Bill Paxton, which sparks the story that we see. Yeah. But the opening of the movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger dances the tango. Was it the tango?
Yeah, he does.
With Tia Carrera as the spy.
Yes,
and then at the end of the movie, they're off at another party, and his wife and him do the tango.
It looks pretty much the same. Yep, and then he's doing the tango with his wife. Because now he's got the best of both worlds. Now he's happy with his wife, and he gets to do the dance. Yeah, it was really good. Oh gosh, and I gotta say, one of my favorite scenes, and as Tsukonko points out, and as I kind of suspected, there's a scene. Well, not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. There's these two dogs that are chasing Arnold.
Oh yeah.
And when they jump at Arnold, he slaps their heads together to knock him out. And when they land, they're clearly like rubber dogs. Like their legs get all floppy. And they are good looking rubber dogs.
Yeah.
Like clearly rubber dogs. And the next shot shows the dog getting up just fine, and they don't seem to care.
Yeah, like if it was realistic and he actually was taking those dogs out, they'd be unconscious if not dead.
And they could have cropped the video or the camera shot, or raised the camera a little bit so you wouldn't see the dummies drop, and then it would have been far more convincing. But as Tsukonko pointed out, and as I suspected, it was done to show that, hey, he didn't really slam two dogs together. I mean, clearly you can see that these are dummies.
Yes.
You still get the full effect of the scene, and the dogs pop. There's clearly seeing the dummies and seeing the dogs pop up afterwards. Shows that these dogs didn't really get hurt.
Indeed.
So it may have been a way of covering their bases, and honestly, I kind of appreciate that.
It was the only animal violence in the movie.
Yes.
And there were only two other animals I can think of that were in the movie.
Yes, a rather significant horse scene.
He has a pet dog.
Yeah, a pet dog who, at one point, he's kind of jerking it on the leash.
Yeah.
But it's unclear as...
It made it in the trailer. I watched the trailer right before we filmed.
It's weird because it wasn't like... It didn't
have any purpose of being there.
There's no purpose to be there.
It was just an excuse for him to be out of the house walking the dog.
Yeah,
and
you could have actually gotten rid of that shot, and it would have changed nothing. You could have cut the scene right before he starts to walk the dog, up until he stops walking the dog.
Yeah,
and it would have changed nothing. Like, I don't understand why that why that was left in, but whatever.
He could have been taking out the trash. That would have been just as likely excuse for going out of the house.
It's the wrong day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. And there's a very awesome chase scene where Arnold rides a police horse.
Yes. And probably the most exciting horse chase scene in a modern movie.
Spoilers for Cowboy Bebop. Chazarine still needs to finish seeing. But there is a fairly interesting episode that involves a horse that might have borrowed some from this movie.
A horse is a horse, of course.
Yeah. Well, that's of course, horse is a famous Mr. Ed, which it was not. It was not Mr. Ed. At least I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah.
Are you part horse?
No. I am not part horse. But anyhow, yeah. That whole chase scene with the horse was actually pretty darn cool. I can't think of another movie that did a horse scene that well until John Wick 3, which I did not think John Wick 3 was a very good movie, but that horse scene in John Wick 3, from the start to the end, was just phenomenal. But yeah, the rest of the movie I didn't think lived up to the previous two John Wick movies. But that horse part, like this movie and that movie, like the two big like action horse scenes that I can think of for
I don't know, I've seen a few action horse scenes. Wasn't there that dog?
So yeah, True Lies definitely ranks up there as one of the better Arnold Schwarzenegger movies to mix a pretty darn well the action and comedy, and not just be one or the other.
Yes, I agree. It definitely keeps the balance. I mean, it's James Cameron.
Yeah.
This guy knows. You could like him or hate him, but this guy knows how to direct a movie.
Why would you hate James Cameron?
I don't know, but there's got to be somebody out there. But James Cameron's movies, at the very least, if nothing else, are wonderfully shot and edited.
Indeed. I think he even does some of the editing himself, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger was very polarizing in his career. He's either done almost entirely action-based movies with very little to no comedy, or he's done extremely comedy movies with very little action in them to make them more comedy than action at all. But this one mixed them quite well, and we were, even though you've seen this movie plenty of times, you were still laughing as much as I was. Well, maybe not as much, but I definitely remembered us laughing quite a bit at this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, some of it was just some of the most ludicrous things that happened, but it still fit in the tone of the movie, so it was very well done.
Yes.
So I still haven't. I need to figure out what my ranking is, and maybe we'll do that at some point.
We'll just make it like Toonami's rating. It's
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, just always. Doesn't matter what they're.
In any case, we got two other Arnold Schwarzenegger movies here we didn't have time to watch. Which ones would you want us to watch a review next? We got
Twins in theaters
and Kindergarten Cop. I want to say I've seen Kindergarten Cop, but it's been so long that I don't remember much more than the memes. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
And then that one boy. I think he was in Full House.
Oh, that and the fact that the set dressing for the movie is used in the first Silent Hill game for some reason.
Interesting.
But I probably should have saved that for the video on Kindergarten Cop. But yeah, leave in the comments below which Arnold Schwarzenegger movie we should do next between these two, or any of the other ones we haven't done. I'm gonna leave the links to the other Arnold Schwarzenegger review videos that we did. Or I did, I should say. Azurean wasn't in the 6-day one that I did with Max. Yeah, that's it. And thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Tsukonko the Panda and
the serene Azurean. I am a bird.
Yes, you are. You're a bird. And thanks for watching, and happy First Day Friday.
Happy First Day Friday. Oops.